Wrath is a violation of love. Last week we saw that it was what caused Cain to kill his younger brother Abel. So how can we overcome? We must begin to cultivate a desert relationship with God. Remember Moses? He's the one who killed the Egyptian, covers his body with sand, and then flees to the desert. But guess what? After he spends 40 years in the desert as a shepherd, God would appear to him there in a burning bush. What about John the Baptist? John the Baptist began his ministry in the desert, and Jesus would say of him, "Born of women, there has not risen one greater than John the Baptist." And what about King David? King David several times in his lifetime would have to flee to the desert. First, it was because King Saul was after him, and then it was because of his own son Absalom was trying to kill him to overtake his kingdom. But it was in this desert experience with God that King David in Psalm 63 writes down to us exactly what it means to have a desert relationship with God. Now, I'm not suggesting that we pack up our belongings and run to the desert. What I'm suggesting is that we can have a desert experience with God anywhere in the world. This is what David says as he's running away, fearing for his life, running from his son. He says this, "O God, you are my God. Early will I seek you. My soul thirsts for you. My flesh longs for you in a dry and thirsty land where there is no water. So I have looked for you in the sanctuary to see your power and your glory." In three simple parts, David shows to us what it means to seek God in the desert. First, it says that he remembers God. "Oh God, you are my God." He's not talking to a God or the God. He's talking to my God, his God. He's talking to the God that has established a covenant relationship with him, a covenant-keeping God. The next thing he does is it says that early will I seek you. God wasn't his plan B. God was his plan A. You know, David could have been really upset with his son. David could have said, "I'm going to stay here and I'm going to fight against my son and I'm going to keep my kingdom." But instead, David didn't do that. David didn't allow anger that would result in wrath to brew in his heart. He immediately flees to the desert because there he will seek God early before wrath takes place in his heart. And finally, it says here, "So I looked for you in the sanctuary to see your power and your glory." David begins to remember and to meditate his experiences with God in the past. David says, "I've been in this situation before. I've been in this desert before. I've been fearful for my life when King Saul was trying to overcome me. But guess what? God was victorious then, and God will be victorious now." So how do we overcome the deadly sin of wrath? We must change our focus and begin to cultivate a desert relationship with God. And there are three ways to do that. First, he must be our God, my God. A personal and intimate relationship must be established with a covenant-keeping God. Number two, we must seek him early. He can't be plan B, he must be plan A. And finally, we must remember that God is a God of power and glory, and his power and his glory will be seen in our lives. So that's my challenge. This week, let's begin to cultivate a desert relationship and experience with God.
Oh God, you're my God, I seek you. Oh, my soul, it longs for you.